What is up, everybody? And welcome back. Welcome back to another edition, another episode of Meet on the 50. It is our second episode of the week, which means it is our picks episode. And I guess it is our second Thanksgiving edition because we got some Thanksgiving Day games to talk about. And obviously, it was just Thanksgiving. It's Friday, obviously, so Thanksgiving was yesterday, but when we recorded this, it's not even close to Thanksgiving yet. So we'll save all that good talk for next week. But let's start the show. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meet on the 50. And we are back to break down the action ahead of us for week number 12. This season is just rolling along. And we are on to week 12. And we're going to break down the action. As always, joining me to break down my action or break down the action, one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, obviously, we know Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet. But just give me one of your favorite things on Thanksgiving and obviously how you do.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick. It's definitely the food, man. It's definitely the food. Just the turkey and the mashed potatoes and gravy. Those are my right there. That's my stuff right there. And grandma's been cooking it my whole life. I've been having Thanksgiving with my grandparents specifically since I was a child. So, she makes such good gravy, and my grandpa always cooks a good turkey, and it's good to be with the family and just have the games on, just that smell, you know what I mean? The ambiance of Thanksgiving. What about you, Jake?
I'm excited. Definitely, I'm looking forward to the games this year. We have some solid Thanksgiving Day games. We have some good food planned this year for myself and the people I'm celebrating with. So I am excited. So,
are you celebrating in Colorado?
I'm gonna be here. I'll be home. I'm not doing any traveling. Not gonna deal with any of that nonsense. So I'll be here, chilling, hanging out, enjoying some ham. Not a turkey guy. Other than my sandwiches, but we're gonna enjoy some ham.
Watch that amount of beers. Just watch it, okay? Because I have clear now. I'll just go right through security.
Oh yeah,
and I'll get there. It's a quick flight, and Colorado Springs, not a bad drive either. I'll find you. So,
okay. Well, I'll be looking.
Talk about the turkey. Don't insult my turkey. But ham is great. Ham is excellent. Yeah. I love ham.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited for the games. I'm excited for Thanksgiving, and we will talk about how it goes next week. But let's remind people how we did last week. And if you haven't done so already, check out our review episode where we break down all the action that happened in week 11, some storylines building, and just what's going on. And we talk about who we think is the best team in the NFL right now. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you check that out. But let's just quickly remind you how we did last week. For yourself, 10-4, 1-0 on the guaranteed victory. For myself, 10-4, 1-0 on the guaranteed victory. Absolute domination, 20-8 overall between the two of us. Domination overall for the season that puts us at, for yourself, 92-71 and 1. 8-3 on the guaranteed victories. For myself, 96-63 and 1. 8-2 and 1 on the guaranteed victories. We're back to rolling. We're back to domination. I knew we were going to get there. It took a little bit, but we are back. Let's wipe those off the screen because we've got some action to talk about, and we're not going to waste any time. So, starting us off on Turkey Day, on Thanksgiving, we got the Buffalo Bills of Detroit traveling nowhere because they're staying in Detroit to take on the Detroit rolling Motor City Lions. What do you got for me?
Tradition, man. 9:30. That 9:30 a.m. game, man. It's far back as I can remember going to my other grandma's house. Just that early morning game because I used to do Thanksgiving half the day at one side of the family, and
Yep.
then half the other side of the family always was with one side of the family, and just that game was always on early morning. So when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of that Detroit game. And so, yeah, gonna be a good game. I mean, I think a lot of people would agree. I mean, Detroit knocked off a pretty
Yeah.
big threat in the NFC.
Yeah.
They did it handily, and so they are going to be at home. Buffalo getting a little bit of kind of some repetitions on that field, so that does help, and they don't have to travel, so that's another bonus of playing there because of that blizzard.
True.
Cool of Detroit to let them just play. Yeah, just come play on our field, and we don't really care. And we understand that there's a blizzard and stuff, and you're buried in 8 feet of snow, and you're gonna have to dig your way out. But as soon as you dig your way out, come play on our field.
Yeah.
And so I got Buffalo in this one. I do think Buffalo wins this one 24-17. I do think it's a pretty low scoring game, but I think Detroit does stay in this game. But I got to roll with Buffalo. I just think that they're just a better team.
I want to do it. I want to do it, and I think I'm gonna do it. We are going with the Detroit Rolling Motor City Lions, baby. I'll take the L if it happens, but I am going to roll with the Lions on this one. I think they have all the momentum in the world. I think the Buffalo Bills are waffling. They're wavering. I don't think a win over the Cleveland Browns last week basically solidifies anything for them. So I think I'm going to roll with the team who has all the momentum in the world, who's coming home, that crowd is going to be electric. Because let me tell you what, you give a Detroit Lions fan a win, and oh my goodness, talk about some cocky fan base. They think they're Tom Brady, who's won 6 Super Bowls. But the Detroit Lions are going to take that cockiness. Yeah, they're going to take that cockiness back home. Handle business. And it's going to be high scoring because apparently that's all Detroit can do. So we're going 32-28. Detroit Lions kick us off with an upset victory at home. Our next game, we got a solid divisional matchup. We got the New York Football Giants, who need a bounce back win, traveling to Arlington to spend their Thanksgiving, taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who are coming off that huge win on Sunday against Minnesota. What do you got for me?
Yeah, Dallas, they looked really good, and the Giants, they looked really not so good. So I got to roll with Dallas. I do think they're going to get it done at home on Thanksgiving. They played a really good game last week. It was very impressive, and so I think they followed up with another win. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys here. I do think they win this one 31-21.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I do like the New York Giants, right? But I do think Dallas making that statement win, I do think that is going to propel them into a victory on Thanksgiving against the New York Giants. And I do think they handle business 28-14 at home. Next up, we got our prime time Thursday night game for Thanksgiving. We got the New England Patriots traveling up to Minnesota, who, is it just me or Minnesota had all their games at home this year, traveling up to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I expect Minnesota to play better. This is a really random matchup, New England versus Minnesota.
It's extremely random
matchup in the league. But New England didn't do much last week. They put up 10 points, and the only reason they didn't put up 3 was because of their punt returner. Yeah. So only 3 points scored on offense. That's atrocious against a team who only scored 3 points on offense. So this is going to be interesting. This could be a 3-3 game down at the end of the wire, but I don't think so. I am going to pick Minnesota in this one to beat New England 21-17.
Yeah, I have an eerie feeling that the Pats can pull this game off with how that defense is playing locked down. But then again, they always play the Jets well, and they always beat the Jets. So, like you said, in our review episode, any given Sunday you felt last week for the Minnesota Vikings, right? Just a bad game, bad performance. They're allowed to have one. I mean, they're 8-2 now. So, I mean, obviously one of the best teams still in the NFL. So, yeah, I'm with you. Minnesota Vikings, just like the Buffalo Bills, bounce back at home. I guess the Buffalo Bills weren't really at home, but the Minnesota Vikings bounce back and get the win. Get the win on Thursday night and handle business against New England. And we'll see what happens. You know, Minnesota Vikings, yeah, they were tested last week. They're going to be tested this week for sure. But I do think, like you said, they hold tough, especially at home. That does play a big factor for them. But I'm going Minnesota Vikings 24-17. Close. But I do think it's a good game to end our night there on Thursday. And moving on to Sunday, leading us off on Sunday morning, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Ohio, to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Dukies. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think this should be a good matchup, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay. They won a couple of their last games, and I just think that they understand, that they need to stay, kind of in this steady race in their division because, the Falcons are definitely not letting up. And so they know that it's important to get this win and to, get closer to getting that home playoff game. And so I am going to take Tampa Bay in this one. I do think Tampa Bay wins this one 28-24.
Yeah, I do expect Tampa Bay coming off their bye to just kind of handle business on the road. Although Cleveland, I do expect to play tough. They've been playing tough all year long. I mean, Nick Chubb is absolutely an incredible running back. Probably the only good thing about Cleveland, in my opinion. But Tampa Bay, like you said, I do think they handle business. I do think they actually score a little bit of points here against Cleveland. I'm going 32-21. I do think at the end of the game, they kind of pull away and handle business. So I'm going Tampa Bay Buccaneers 32-21 on the road, handling business against Cleveland. Next up, we got the rematch of the AFC divisional round. We got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling back to Nashville, back to the Music City to take on the Tennessee Titans. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this should be an interesting game. I kind of went back and forth on this one. You're probably not going to like what I have to say, but I got to roll with Tennessee here. I think it's going to be such a good game. I just think that, I think it's just going to be a lot of defense, to be honest. And I know that Jamar Chase coming back is we're not sure if that's going to happen or not. I'm basing it off of that he's not. I think that Cincinnati definitely could win this game. I would not be surprised at all. I think it comes down to a field goal. I do think that Tennessee wins this one. I think they win it 27-24.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and I expect the Titans to come out ready to play, ready to go. However, there is one key factor and only one key factor in this game, and he is the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, and his name is Ryan Tannehill. Because if you remember last year, first play of the game, pick, overtime pick. So Ryan Tannehill, he is the X factor in this game. However, the boys got to get rolling, and what better way to get rolling than just defeating your adversary last year in the AFC divisional game? Not once, but twice again. So we're going all in, baby. Guaranteed victory, Cincinnati Bengals over the Tennessee Titans, 20-17, walk-off field goal again by shooter. The Cincinnati Bengals handle business on the road again against the Tennessee Titans. Guaranteed victory, boys. Let's go. Next up, we got the newly bestowed Houston Dumpster Fire Texans traveling to the Sunshine State of Florida, to Miami, to take on the Miami Dolphins. What do you got for me?
This one's easy. Guaranteed victory. Miami wins this one 35-10.
Yeah, very simple. We're going Dolphins all day, and we're going 38-17. Absolute domination between the Dolphins and against the Texans at home. Very simple, easy to call. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears. Could they make it 5? Oh, are we thinking 5? Chicago Bears traveling to the Big Apple, to New York, then traveling to New Jersey to take on the New York Jets. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I got the New York Jets in this one. I think they play better when they're at home. Chicago's been struggling to close games out. I do think the New York Jets play a little bit better than they did last week. I'm going to take the New York Jets in this one, 28-21.
Yeah, the Jets, what the key here is going to be the defense. Can the defense stop Justin Fields and that just his incredible running ability and just one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And he is incredible on his feet. So you got to watch out for him. But yeah, I fully expect the Jets, they handle business, bounce back. It's going to be a low scoring game. I'm going 17-14, ugly victory, but the New York Jets at home, bounce back, get a victory, get it done. New York Jets hanging tough after dropping a game again last week. Next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Washington, to Landover, Maryland, to take on the Washington Commanders. What do you got for me?
Yeah, Washington's been playing well. Give them credit. Ron Rivera, Tyler Heineke, just overall, just like I said, through all the tension, all the off-season or all the off the field stuff, just moving in the front office, they've been playing extremely well. So I got to roll with Washington over Atlanta. I do think that they win this one 24-17. I think it's a pretty close game, but I think Washington pulls it out at home.
Yeah, for the second week in a row, Washington, we are rolling with the Commanders. The Commanders handling business, looking good. Taylor Heineke definitely earned the starting job there in Washington. Good for him. And we'll see what happens. This is going to be his first actual start, or not. Oh, it wouldn't be his first actual start, but first actual start this season. So Taylor Heineke, congratulations on getting the nod, the start, right? Making basically your dream come true, obviously being the starting quarterback for an NFL team. That's what it's all about. But the Washington Commanders handle business here 24-17 against the Falcons, who always play teams tough, right? Congratulations to Cordell Patterson breaking the touchdown record last week. Kyle Pitts being out. We'll see how big of a difference that makes. He wasn't really getting the ball, wasn't really seeing action. So Commanders, definitely the better team in my opinion, handling business at home. Next up, we got the Denver Donkeys against the newly announced led Sam Darnold Carolina Panthers. What do you got for me?
Oh, man, this is a tough one. I'm just going to roll Carolina. I do think that Carolina wins this game. I'm not sure Denver scores more than 10. I'm going to pick Carolina 17-10.
I like it. Yeah, you know what? For the first time, I think all season, maybe not all season, but for the first time I can remember right now, I'm going to roll with the Denver Donkeys solely for their defense. I do think their defense is way better than what Carolina has on offense. So we're going with the Denver Donkeys, and we're going with a 10-7 game, baby. A solid stinker, in the morning. We got to have one. We got to have one stinker, right? There it is right there. Next up.
Got to do the 10 points, huh?
Yeah,
just got to do the 10 points.
Had to give him 10 points. We'll go 10-7. Okay, we'll go 10-7. We'll give him. We'll see what happens. Next up, and our last game for the morning, we got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to roll with Baltimore. Jacksonville hasn't been impressive all season. I do think Baltimore will win this one. I think they will win this one 27-17.
Yeah, I got Baltimore as well. While I do think Baltimore is shaky at times, Jacksonville is just a little bit more shaky, and I do expect Baltimore to go there, handle business. They are the better team on paper. So, yeah, I expect them to handle business. And, yeah, I'm going to go 28-21. I do think it's an interesting game. However, Baltimore handles business to keep pace, to keep that first place in the AFC North because the Ravens are going to have to keep winning if they want to keep pace with the Bengals right now. Let's see what happens this week. Going to be an interesting week in the AFC North for sure in terms of movement. And moving on to the afternoon. We got leading us off, we got the mediocre Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego traveling down to the desert to Arizona to take on the Arizona Cardinals. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Chargers on this one. I just think there's so many question marks with the Cardinals. Obviously, I think the Chargers are going to bounce back and get a win. They definitely need a win in order to stay in that AFC race. We'll see how Mike Williams does if he's able to be back on the field. But I got to roll with the Chargers in this one. I do think the Chargers squeak this one out. So I'm going to pick the Chargers 27-23.
Yeah, this one is a definite toss-up in terms of like who can just be better that day, right? Because both teams are somewhat on the same plane, same level field. I'm going to differ from you here just to make it interesting. We're going to go with the Arizona Cardinals this week. I think Kyler Murray returns, and I think he has a good performance. I definitely do think that it does benefit them being at home. Los Angeles, I mean, we talked about it. There's just really nothing exciting about Los Angeles. Justin Herbert was lighting it up last season, and then the Chargers wanted to be the Chargers. So Chargers are going to be the Chargers, and I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be the Arizona Cardinals. But I think on this day, on that Sunday, I do think they're going to be better. So Arizona Cardinals handle business 29. We're going weird score, 29-25 at home, handling business and somewhat keeping pace in that NFC West. Next up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll hold off on the rated for right now. Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Seattle to get a cup of coffee and then travel to CenturyLink to take on the Seattle Seahawks. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this game could go either way, but I just got to roll Seattle. I just think that they understand, as far as the 49ers are coming for that spot, and this is not a game that they can ill afford to lose at home. The Raiders played a good game last week against the Broncos, but I think this is a bigger test for them. I think that the Seahawks have a much better offense than the Broncos do as of yet this year. And so I think it's going to be a close game. I think that both teams will put up some points, but I'm going to pick Seattle 31-28.
Oof, close. But yeah, I am right there with you. I think Seattle absolutely handles business at home. Raiders not very good. They're just always better. They've always been better than the Broncos, and they'll always be better than the Broncos. So Raiders, I think they drop this game.
I hope the Raiders win. I hope the Raiders win.
Yeah.
I would like to pick them. It's just I got to go with my logical side because I'm trying to get that perfect week. But my thing is I really hope the Raiders can pull this one out. If there's, I don't root for the Raiders too often just because of the rivalry, but this is one where it's like it actually means something. If they could beat Seattle, that'd be doing us a big favor because we're in that race with them. We're both kind of essentially tied at this point. If they could take that L, that would be huge.
Yeah, that would be huge, right? But I do think Seattle is just the better team at this point. I do think they prevail, and I'm going 34-21. I think it's an absolute blowout, and I think the Raiders just get absolutely dumpstered on, unfortunately. But yeah, Seattle Seahawks handle business at home. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got for me?
Not much to say about this one. Kansas City wins 35-17.
Yeah, easy. Enough said on that one, right? Chiefs, I fully expect them to handle business. I'm going 28-17. Lambs, done. Not making the playoffs. Enough said. Next up, we got the final game of the afternoon. To end us off, we got the New Orleans Saints traveling to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, the 49ers are on a roll. They've won the last 3 of their games, so give them credit. That's good. They just have kind of pulled things together, and they just look like a different team than they did at the start of the season. So, just firing on all cylinders, offense, defense. I don't think that this game is any different, but I do think it's a little bit close just because any Saints or Niners fans will tell you these games are always close. I am going to pick my 49ers 31-24.
Yeah, this one's very simple for me. I'm going Niners 28-17. I think they absolutely dominate and handle business again at home. Further showing why, in my opinion, they are the best team in the NFL. And moving on to our Sunday night primetime game, we got the Green Bay Packers traveling to the city of brotherly love, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than a lot would think, but I am going to pick Philadelphia. I just think at home they play so much better than they do on the road, just like any team. But I am going to pick Philly in this one, 26-17.
Oh, I like it. Weird score. I like it. This one is tough. This one is tough because this is I could easily see Aaron going to Lincoln Financial Field, if that's still its name, and upset the Eagles on Sunday night, right? Christian Watson, 5 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, absolutely going off for them, right? Is he the key? Is he the weapon that Aaron's been looking for? Are they gelling finally? Is it too late? We're going to find out on Sunday, but I tend to side with the home team. I'm going to side with the home team here, but I do caution that I fully expect the Packers to bring it and would not be surprised at all if they pull off this win. But I'm going to Eagles 24-21, field goal victory, close game, but Eagles hang tough and get a solid victory at home against the Green Bay Packers. And lastly, our Monday game, and it's kind of a who cares game. I'm surprised this game makes it. How does this game not flex? We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh boy, who wants to watch this? Traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Indianapolis Colts. What do you got for me?
I mean, I do agree with you, Jake. I mean, no one really wants to watch this. I think both of those games could have been flexed. But if there was one game that could have been flexed into this spot, it would have been Cincinnati versus Tennessee. I think that's a matchup that everybody wants to watch, that we really don't know what's going to happen. But, yeah, this is garbage. I mean, utterly no one really cares. So throw a random score out there. I mean, I think that the Indianapolis Colts are going to win this one 27-20.
Yeah, this one's very simple for me. I'm going Indianapolis Colts 24-17, handling business at home, going 2-1 as the Jeff Saturday-led Indianapolis Colts. Not much more needs to be said about this game. It's just kind of a snoozer. So that is going to do it. You knew what was coming, that we're done. There's no more games. So that's going to do it. As always, Brandon and I want to thank you, our viewers, for taking the time, for watching our videos, for listening to the podcast. However you choose to just intake our content, we want to thank you. So thank you very much. And, we hope we do enough to keep you coming back for more, whether you're a new viewer, old viewer. We hope you keep coming back for more all season long, because we're going to be around, right? Brandon, any last words for the people?
Still looking for that perfect week. I know we've come close before, but, I hope the pick that I get wrong is the Seattle pick, because they need to come on. But other than that, just looking forward to another good week of football. I think both of our teams definitely have a chance at both winning again. Sorry I had to pick against your team. I don't know. I'm going with my intuition. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'd rather have the Bengals win, but just looking forward to all these games, and especially the Thanksgiving Day games. Those would be awesome.
Yeah. It should be good. I'm excited. We got some good matchups this year, got some good matchups this week. So I hope they live up to all the hype, right? So, we're just rolling along. We're in week 12, like I was mentioning. This season is rolling along. We are rolling along, and we are excited, and we got some solid matchups. But that's going to do it. That's it. Go celebrate Thanksgiving. All right. I guess at this point, we hope you had a good Thanksgiving, but we're going to talk about that next week because we're recording this before Thanksgiving. I know it's just a bunch of, okay, we'll get to it. That is one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. I am Jacob Cutler. Remember, you can follow along on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, but most importantly, do us a favor, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new content drops, you're right there. You're right there to consume the content because we're dropping content all season long. Best part about all three of those things, they are completely free. I am Jacob Cutler. That is Brandon Sullivan. And we hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Until next time, Brandon and Jake are out.